Hey there, I'm Julian Geyser. I'm the Director of Corporate Support at Greatheart Consulting. You might recognize my face from the chatbots we've got all over the website. Today, I'm here to share my personal Inclusive Leaders Assessment report with you for a couple reasons. First, our comms manager said that people love video and that I'd better get over my fear of the camera. And second, because I really believe that this is a tool that can help all leaders lead more inclusively and answer that critical question that we hear so often. Can you just tell me what to do? All right, let's get started and focus on the ILA. And a quick note is that this part of the video is going to be best viewed in full screen, if you're not already there. So in August of this year, I completed my second round of this multi-rater assessment. I invited 11 colleagues, peers, and outside stakeholders that I work with closely to evaluate their experience of me as an inclusive leader. 9 of them completed the assessment. I want to give you a bit of a taste of what I was able to learn. First, let's take a look at the pulse of how I did over the 2 rounds. This is where I can most clearly see the gaps between my intent and the impact of how I'm leading across our 6 core skills. Own your story, listen to build trust, seek and give feedback courageously, respect individuality and build belonging, hiring and progression, and transform the way you lead inclusively. Here, I can get a high-level view of some trends. For me, I'm rating myself lower than my reviewers. Also, it's clear that my colleagues are very generous individuals and that overall, they think I'm doing a pretty good job as an inclusive leader. For this video, we're going to focus on my Listen to Build Trust results because I think it's the area where I have the most work to do. So first, I get an explanation of the skill, some things to consider related to the skill, and the skill aggregate score over the 2 rounds of the assessment. I also want to point out the level of engagement framework down here at the bottom. This level of engagement corresponds to our 5 stages of transformation model, and from it we get a clear definition of what it means to be in careful practice when it comes to listening to build trust. Personally, I sometimes struggle with the distractedness piece, especially if I have a sense of where I think the person is going with their statement or idea. The danger here is that I might miss something important and overall invalidate their perspective or idea. I've been trying to ask more questions and even repeat back to them what I hear them saying so that they have a chance to correct me if needed. Getting back to my Listen to Build Trust results. On the second page, it gets a bit juicier. Here, I can see the answers to all my questions related to this particular skill. I can also see the level of agreement amongst the reviewers, whether I'm aware that this is a strength or weakness of mine, and finally, whether anyone responded do not know to any of these questions. That would indicate that I've got a little additional work to do. This level of detail is available for each of our 6 core skills. Each leader and their reviewers assess their performance as an inclusive leader against these skills. And finally, and this is my favorite part, I get some anonymous open text box feedback from my colleagues on what I'm doing well as an inclusive leader and what I could be doing better. For anonymity, I had to invite at least 5 reviewers and have 3 respond to get any of this information. I don't know who did or didn't respond from those 5. I also get the chance to see my top 5 strengths based on the reviewers' responses, the top 5 opportunities for growth, and because I completed the second round of the ILA, I get to see my greatest areas of improvement. There's also some really helpful frameworks and exercises throughout the report. Here, we have an activity that helps me think about where I am on this inclusive leadership journey in regards to a whole host of aspects of identity, some that I may never really consider. And finally, here's another activity that's a great way to end the assessment, a bit of a reflection on identifying the what, so what, and now what of the whole assessment experience. Overall, I really enjoyed going through the assessment because it was pretty easy. It took me about 15 minutes. It provided great and actionable feedback, and because it was a proactive step that I could take to better understand how my colleagues feel I'm doing as an inclusive leader. If you'd like to learn more, click into that chat button down below and say hi. You can also download a full PDF copy of the sample report or buy the assessment today. Thanks for watching and keep leading inclusively.